Good evening. I'd like to bring the July meeting to order of the Interboro Board of School Directors. May we have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Eckert?
Here.
Mrs. Floyd?
Here.
Mr. Evans?
Here.
Mr. Harris?
Here.
Mr. Phelps?
Here.
Mrs. Krajewski?
Here.
Mr. Razzie?
Here.
Mrs. Hager?
Here. May we have the invocation, please, and pledge?
Heavenly Father, please hear our prayer. Bless all schools, colleges, and especially the Interboro School District, and grant to this board in their deliberations this evening the spirit of wisdom, truth, and knowledge. What is undertaken always be done in charity and in peace, and what we do might be for the benefit of others. All this we ask in your name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Ms. Krajewski, public comments, please.
Zerdy Doby.
Zerdy Doby Tinicum. Item number 9.8 and 9.9, which is Title I money that you're seeking the superintendent to get from the federal government. It's approximately it's over $500,000. Is that correct? Okay, and just to keep that in mind. Number 14, you also have a split dollar consulting. Now, you've had a number of checks cut within the past few months. Now you're going to spend $1,500 for consulting. What are you consulting about? This has already been settled for years, and just exactly what is it that you're trying to consult about? You already know what the facts of what they're doing. What are you what's the consulting for?
We are going to have, we've been consulting our attorneys, and we have to discuss it in the executive session. There have been some developments with the split dollar that we need to further look into as a board.
Are you going to make them public at some point in time?
Absolutely.
When?
When we make the decision, when we have all the information.
Okay. Last month, I mentioned to you the airport agreement and what's called tax guaranteed payments. And I brought to your attention the fact that one of the fixed payments is split equally between the township, the county, and the Interboro School Board for a pay amount of $1.8 million. And I said that that was not fair to the Interboro School District and the taxpayers. And my representative, Mr. Eckert, at the workshop meeting, I asked him to explain the executive session where the number of people who were at those executive sessions, and was unable to get a satisfactory answer. Now, the heading for this, I'm going to read it to you. It says, tax guarantee payments. The city will pay or cause to be paid an amount to guarantee lost taxes as stated. Now, you just passed and sent out these tax bills. The millage rate for this is 32 plus. Now, the millage rate for the Tinicum Township is 4.4. It's not 32. The millage rate for the county, Delaware County, is 5.6. It's not 32. So the lost taxes, just from the amount that you're getting, is severely out of whack. So I'm asking you, as a board, to send a letter to both the county and the township to renegotiate or to readjust this figure to a more appropriate level and back to the Title I funds. Just a $200,000 reduction for the county and the township would equal $400,000, which is almost the amount of money that you're going to seek from Title I. You've had a number of people over the past years come before this board and ask about advanced placement courses. Mrs. France. Now, I don't know what the costs are for advanced placement courses, but if you renegotiated this and got them to reduce their amounts to a more appropriate level, then you could pay for additional advanced placement courses and any other number of things that are needed within the school district. So again, I'm asking you to send a letter and to address this issue in a more appropriate manner so that the school district does not lose out. One other comment about this. At the workshop meeting, it was mentioned that one of the reasons why that this is being done in this manner is because of legal fees. Now, if you want to have those people, either the township or the county, submit a bill to the school district for legal fees, which they say, then that would be an appropriate expenditures of money that I would support. But the manner in which it's constructed right now is unfair and it needs to be addressed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Joby. No others. Thank you. Let's move on to motion 3.1, Ms. Krajewski.
Motion that the following minutes of the regular meeting of the Interboro Board of School Directors held on June 17, 2015 be approved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Are there questions or comments from board members? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 8-0. Mr. Pupio is here with us tonight as our solicitor. Your report, please.
Good evening. Thank you, ma'am. I am substituting for Ms. Serini this evening. In speaking with her, the solicitor's office has worked on several special ed issues, and mainly there's some miscellaneous issues and the Prospect Park construction where there have been some issues that have arisen on a day-to-day basis. That would be my report. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Pupio. Motion 5.1, please.
Motion that the attached treasurer's report for the month ending June 30, 2015 be approved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Questions or comments from board members? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 8-0. 5.2, please.
Motion that fund disbursements in the amount of $8,196,214.45 be approved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Questions or comments from board members? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 8-0. We're moving on to committee reports, and we did not have a committee meeting for finance and GBO, nor will we have one in August. So we'll move to Mrs. Floyd in the legislative update.
Yes, I received a report. We didn't have a meeting this month for the summer. We won't be meeting again until September. However, I still get my updates. And the National School Board Association sent out a notice. The Senate is currently scheduled to consider today, I didn't find out what the outcome was, Senate Bill 1177, the Every Child Achieves Act, to reauthorize the Elementary and Secondary Education Act, which it was known as ESEA. Several more notable amendments could be considered, including Title I formula change, accountability, and Strong Start for America's Children. The NSBA claimed victory as an amendment offered on school choice failed by a vote of 45 to 51. 4 senators did not vote. The amendment introduced sought to allow Title I dollars to follow any eligible student who would choose to attend any public or private school within their respective district. It would have also required the U.S. Department of Education to assess graduation rates for Title I students who decide to enroll in private schools. NSBA is grateful to all who responded to the call to action that's the advocacy that I talk about, that, you know, when myself as well as others throughout the country for NSBA are asked to contact their representatives so that they know how these different bills affect us in our district. Call to action was urging senators to say no to private school vouchers. Our efforts made a difference. So that's the main thing. And we don't have a budget yet in Harrisburg. There's not a whole lot I could say about that because both sides are annoyed with each other, and basically, hopefully next month I could give a positive report and we'll have a budget. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Floyd. Mr. Harris.
Good evening, everyone. The Delaware County Intermediate Unit Board of Directors met July 8th, 2015. Updates were given for the ongoing executive director search from Tom Templeton's firm, including timeframes and additional meetings, beginning interview dates for prospective candidates. A meeting was also held the same date for representatives of the school district superintendents for feedback on the search process and new executive director. For more information, go to www.dciu.org. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Harris. Mr. Evans?
Yes, good evening. On June 23rd, there is no Delaware County Liaison Committee meeting this past month, so I have no report from the community college. But I did have the opportunity to attend a Pennsylvania School Foundation Symposium out in Mechanicsburg, PA on June 23rd and 24th. The topics discussed were the reason behind establishing an educational foundation, how to establish an effective board for governance and bylaws and policy, developing lasting partnerships with your community, raising awareness around public education, establishing good relations with existing alumni relations and alumni programs, some of the alternate funding strategies, and some of the risks and liability that go along with establishing an education foundation. So an education foundation is meant to enhance the educational experience by taking advantage of the educational improvement tax credits. That is a program funded by the state that allows corporations to donate a certain amount of their annual dollars towards a program that reduces their tax liability. There's several corporate contributors across the state that contribute to the program, and there's a website that provides a list of all those contributors. I think there's about 3,200 current contributors to the program. In order to have an education foundation and take advantage of these tax credits, it must be established as a 501c3 with a governing body, bylaws, and policies as well. It's important to engage the community and establish a board that is interested in moving this forward. It's separate and apart from the school district, it's separate and apart from the school board, and it's separate and apart from the school budget. It's not meant to replace or supplement programs that should be funded through the annual school budget. It's meant instead to enhance programs and initiatives, be it scholarships or boosters and things like that. One thing about it, it's been in existence for several years, and there's already several community school districts that do participate, like Ridley and Springfield, Upper Perkiomen. At the program, I met people from across the state, some that were just starting up their foundations, some that were had been established for quite some time. But the monies that flow from this program can be solicited by school districts or educational foundations, any other charity, whether it's a community organization, the Red Cross, cyber schools, charter schools. Everybody that is a 501c3 for the purpose of education can take advantage of these funds, and we really shouldn't be ignoring it. So to establish it, you should incorporate engaged members of the community, and it can be dovetailed to either existing alumni associations or boosters, and if not directly connected, should at least be linked, because those are the volunteers that are already in the community that are engaged and interested in public education. So we shouldn't compete with them for resources, nor should you shut them out because they are a valuable resource. The opportunities exist with corporations in the community, like banks, real estate, any major industry that's in the community. Some of the untapped resources would be vendors and suppliers to the school district that already provide services and do business with the school district. They may want to give something back, as well as, like I said, alumni associations and things like that. So we'll be looking for interested parties, and I would say to get this off the ground as quickly as possible, because it takes a while to apply for the 501c3, and it takes a while to apply to the program. So you could get waitlisted in the program, and we're already behind a lot of other, like I said, area schools and I guess entities that take advantage of this. So we'll be looking for interested parties to participate. You could contact me if you have more questions at my personal cell phone, 610-724-8767, or my school district email, john.evans@interboro.sd.org. I will be sharing the information with Mrs. Hauger as well as the superintendent. So if you speak to either one of those, they can get the information from me as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Evans. Can we go to motion 8, please?
Motion that the following personnel actions be approved as listed, beginning on page 2, ending on page 5.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions or comments from board members? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 8-0. Motion 9, please.
Motion that the following items from the Office of Curriculum and Instruction be approved as listed, beginning on page 5, ending on page 6.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Questions or comments from board members? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 8-0. Page 7, motion 10, please.
Motion that the following items from the Office of Special Education and Pupil Services be approved as listed.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Questions or comments from board members? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 8-0. Motion 11, please.
Motion that the following items from the Office of Technology be approved as listed, beginning on page 7, ending on page 8.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Questions or comments on motion 11? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 8-0. Motion 12, please.
Motion that the Board of School Directors approve the following people as listed to attend the Administrative Assistance Conference in King of Prussia on August 21, 2015, at a cost of $229 per person, paid out of district funds.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Questions or comments from board members? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 8-0. Motion 13, please.
Motion that the Board of School Directors approve the attached lease agreement with Newman University for the Interboro graduation ceremony for the 2015-2016 school year.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Questions or comments from board members? Hopefully, with the approval of this motion, we will return to Newman University for our graduation in 2015. 16, yes. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 8-0. Motion 14, please.
Motion that the Board of School Directors approve J.R. Burke of the Perspective Financial Group, LLC, for consulting services on split dollar life insurance not to exceed $1,500.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Questions or comments on motion 14?
Comment?
Mrs. Floyd?
Yes. I'm not in favor of paying this amount of money to this particular individual. However, in order for us to get resolution to this ongoing situation with the split dollar, we need additional information for our solicitors. And the only way we're going to get it is by hiring Mr. Burke and paying him this money, since he was the agent that was responsible or in charge of it all coming about. So with that, I support it, but I'm not in favor of it.
Sorry, any other comments? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 8-0. Any old business from board members? Under new business, Mrs. Riley?
Thank you, Mrs. Hogger. I would like to welcome and congratulate all of our new hires that were approved this evening. The administrative team has been hard at work interviewing and selecting candidates for the upcoming school year. Dr. Ekman and I had the opportunity to meet with each of these candidates, and we were very impressed with their qualifications and their enthusiasm as they joined the Interboro team, so I welcome them. It is with regret that we have approved Mr. Bob Veit, Assistant Principal at Prospect Park School. He's resigned from the district as he will be leaving us in August to take a position in New Jersey. I would like to thank Bob for the great job that he has done with us during these 2 years. We wish him well and in his future endeavors. Also this evening, Mr. Anthony Maccarello, our athletic director this past year, has been approved by the board to return to the classroom as a social studies teacher. Mr. Mack has done an excellent job as our AD, and as much as he has enjoyed being in that position, his true desire is to be back in the classroom in front of children. So I would personally like to thank Tony for his outstanding job that he did this year as our AD, and I do wish him well back in the classroom. Replacing Mr. Mack as our new athletic director assistant principal will be Mr. Ed Kloss. Many of you know Mr. Kloss, as he has been a social studies teacher at our high school for over 10 years. He has been involved in many activities at the high school, not only as a teacher, but extracurricular activities, as well as handling some dean responsibilities. We are looking forward to him taking on the position, and I hope that he will continue to work with the social studies staff as an assistant principal. So congratulations to Mr. Kloss. He is here tonight, and we welcome him to the administrative team. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Riley. Any other board members have comments for new business?
Comment?
Mrs. Floyd?
Yes. I was glad that Mr. Evans got the information in regards to the foundation, and when he presented it to the board the other night at work session, I also alluded to or told the rest of the board that there's an alumni association in the process of being formed, which is, as stated by Mr. Evans, is one of the resources or one of the groups that will be very helpful in either promoting the foundation, or if they decide just, being their own entity. The fact is that to compete is not what you want to do. It is for the good of the district, and whichever one comes about and can do whatever, hopefully working in unison with each other, I think it's a wonderful thing, because the Alumni Association, the people that I have talked to, their intent is to not just have support for sports or just have support for it would be a form of networking. It would be a form of a lot of our alumni are doing very well, work for very prestigious companies, and they could come and inspire a lot of our kids, as well as maybe make connections for them, as well as the big thing, and that's possibly raise monies to be able to get scholarships. And whatever it takes, whoever it takes, I think it's a really great idea that hopefully this is going to be up and running one way or another so that our kids benefit from this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Floyd. I couldn't agree more, and thank Mr. Evans for his leadership in this. Any other comments from board members? Hearing none. The next work session of the Interboro Board of School Directors will be convened in the boardroom of the Administration Building on Monday, August 17, 2015, at 6:30 p.m. The next regular monthly public meeting of the Interboro Board of School Directors will be convened in the auditorium of the high school on Wednesday, August 19, 2015, at 7 o'clock p.m. Meeting is adjourned. Good evening. Thank you.